everybody. Good morning to you. How are you? Hope you're having a great morning. So Chantal did a live last night and she was, how can I put this, in an altered state. It was pretty obvious that she had visited one of the green shops in Thailand and partook of some of the goods there. Or maybe she had something in her room. Who knows? But she was feeling pretty good. And she was doing a whole lot of talking about a whole lot of different things. One of the more interesting topics that she brought up was somebody from her past, Natter. Imagine that. Imagine being an alleged married woman to another man. Your husband is not in Thailand with you, but what are you talking about in Thailand? You don't have to. Somebody from your past. Somebody from a past of, say, 2+ years ago that you claimed for the longest that did a lot of harm to you. So she's in Thailand. She could talk about anything else, any topic at all, bringing up Natter and doing it almost with a sense of fondness, like laughing and giggling about many different things relating to this person. So I did peek at the live stream when I saw that, and that's why I went off on my community post on Chantal, because the more she talks, the more it's perfectly clear to myself and other people that she lied about the supposed abuse that he gave her. Because what victim of unfortunate circumstances would talk about the person that hurt them like that? Unless, of course, at the time that they were talking about this person and alleging that certain things happened, that is just a made-up story. And a made-up story doesn't contain any real pain or trauma. It's just a story that you're making up for the sake of attention, views, and money. I've always felt that Chantal is a fake, phony victim. A lot of things that she says and that she does, they don't make sense to me. They don't add up. The math ain't mathing. So, yeah, I went off on her in a community post, and I will forever stand on the hill, die on the hill, that she's a fake, phony victim, has been so the entire time. She talks about supposed trauma and pain to A, make herself relatable to certain people in her audience, B, try to add layers to her cake that don't necessarily exist. She's trying to act like she's had that kind of life where she's been through a lot of things and she's survived a lot of things when she really hasn't. And she also likes to open up the scars of other people, looking for the dollars inside, thinking that's the way to get money out of people. Oh, I've been through some pain, so sympathize with me, feel a certain kind of way, and send me a super chat. And I find that highly offensive, Fraudy, because other people's scars, other people's real life bad experiences are not for your profit. Do you understand? Oh, well, we just had a glitch there, right there. Sorry about that. So before I'm even beginning the video, even StreamYard is tired of Fraudy. StreamYard has had it with Fraudy. Dang, Fraudy. You have made StreamYard mad like that. The video went out for a minute. It is tired of you. I'm getting StreamYard gremlins. Hannibal, quit sending them over here. I got a react to do, sir. All right, we're moving on. So how about we go on over to Twitter and look at all the tidbits on Twitter, and then we'll cover at least part of Fraudy's live stream. It went for 3 hours. I'm not going to react to all 3 hours, y'all. Well, that's the beauty about doing recorded videos versus a live. Anymore, Fraudy is boring. So if I do a recorded video, then I can just skip through some of the boring parts and make it shorter than intended. So how about we just do that? Okay, so let's go to Twitter, see what people on Twitter have to say. And okay, so here we are. All right, so for those of you that happen to be on Twitter and you'd like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. Let's start here with Rubber Band saying, talking about Natter again, claiming she never believed he was cheating. It's getting harder to keep track of which man she's talking about now. Yeah, can we talk about that for a minute? The whole cheating thing. Chantal likes to use the word cheating, trying to imply that the men that she's involved with or wants to be involved with, that they're really involved with her, that there's some sort of monogamous relationship going on, trying to act as if the men that she has her sights on, that they're completely devoted to her. You know, in both cases, I feel, both of them, I feel that with Natter and with Salah, that it's always been a business transaction, that neither man really had any kind of fondness or love for Fraudy. That it was always about money. The Chantal would approach both men and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. I need a co-host, or I need content for my channel. Would you be interested in being part of that? If you agree to be on camera, if you agree to talk about me or start some drama or keep some drama going, I'll throw you some coin. I'll make it worth your while. And in both cases, both men agreed. You know, like it was always a business deal of sorts. So she would approach them with that. They would agree to that. And the problem with Chantal is that she can't keep her mind just on the business. She gets her feelings involved where they should not be involved. She tries to make things personal that are not personal. So she approaches the men, says, here, let's do some business together. Let's form some sort of at least verbal contract. They get things started, and then she gets attached, as she does. She gets involved, as she does, and then it just gets messy. And she goes from being an employer to an employee, and she wants to make the transition from employer to employee to a real life relationship. Here's the problem. A real life relationship wasn't part of the contract. That wasn't the agreement. So things get messy, things get heated, and she flips out. Because she might feel after a while that if she gives a person a certain amount of money, that they owe her a relationship, and that's not how real relationships work. So yeah, she gets attached, she gets clingy, insecure, jealous, and you owe me this, and it just gets to be one big old mess. So if you are an employer to an employee, and that's all it is, how can a person cheat on you? How is cheating even possible? If the person never gave you their heart, they never said they want to be in a relationship with you, then how is cheating possible? You can only cheat on somebody that you are in a monogamous relationship with. A business relationship is not the same thing as a monogamous relationship. In a business partnership or relationship, it's just about the money. And the employee can go and be with whoever they want. But she likes to use the word cheating as if the other person emotionally owes her something, or they made a promise that they didn't actually make. So when she was with Natter, I do remember that it got exposed, that Natter was on different single sites. Girl World told her that early, and she chose to keep seeing him. And then she kept seeing things on his phone, pictures and conversations and whatnot, and she still continued to see him. And then when Dee Dee came along and Didi was staying with Natter, she continued to see him, still continued to talk with him. And there were even occasions the three of them intimately got together. So with Chantal, she's willing to deal with whatever it is she has to deal with just to be near a man that she's fixated on. And so it would seem it's the same thing with Salah. So I guess in this situation, cheating doesn't really come into play, and it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of, I want this guy, I want to be near this guy, and that's it. Okay, well then I guess that's it. So don't yell and scream about cheating, Fraudy. All right, so moving on to D. Angry Scott. D. Angry Scott says, you can also achieve healthy glowing skin like this. Just give your face a spit shine and ensure soap or cleanser never touches your skin. Florida Salt and Sass says, baby soft and smooth skin wear. So I don't know what was going on this stream, but it would seem that Chantal took her filters off, or the filters weren't working, because you guys can see this is her face. This is what the skin smoothing filter is covering up. Now, I've heard different theories about why her face looks like this. As far as the red marks, it could be from the CPAP machine mask. It could be because she has a rash, because she does not clean the mask properly. I know that she has rosacea, but her skin does not look good. Not at all. She looks really unhealthy, but this is the magic of filters. This is what the magic of filters can do and cover up. Perfectly Imperfect says, Foodie Beauty wants to go to a spa for foot care. She's playing with fire if she does, because having diabetes makes it high risk for her. So let's watch the clip from the live that she did where she went to the mall.
I want to go to a spa and get foot care done and everything.
Now, I've heard from several people that when you are a diabetic, you can't go to a regular salon or even a spa if you're a diabetic, because if you do, and if there's any kind of injury, even the slightest nick in the skin, that can lead to a lot of complications. They can get nasty real quick. You have to go to, I believe it's called a podiatrist, because they got to be very careful cutting your nails, very careful. Like even the slightest injury can be disastrous. And here's something to follow up with that. While pedicures can be relaxing and improve the appearance of feet, people with diabetes may face some risks if they get a pedicure. Diabetes can affect the body's ability to regulate blood sugar and may cause reduced sensation in the extremities and impaired blood flow. If a pedicure results in an injury, diabetic complications can mask the pain and lead to serious health risks. So if Foodie can't see her feet, if she can't reach her feet, if she's got any kind of nerve damage to where she can't feel pain in her feet, then she's not going to see an injury or even know that it's there. And if it gets infected, it can get rather ugly. So no spa day for you, Chantal. D. Angry Scott says, I've spent far too many hours watching Foodie high as F on live stream to not know it when I see it. Better watch out for all that haram foods you might accidentally eat while intoxicated, Foodie. So yeah, here's a clip from her latest live, and let's watch.
I like how you guys think I'm burnt and you come up with all these euphemisms. It makes me laugh. There's some habits we just have to keep to ourselves if we do have them. I'm not confirming anything, but if I am not at liberty to tell you my business about this, okay? So you can think I'm happy, you can think I'm gleeful, you can think I'm burnt, but it doesn't matter. All right.
You know what? Anybody that was there for a crackhead Olympics, and believe me, there was a lot of footage to watch during that time. This woman was live literally 8 to 12 hours a day, every single day. It was madness to be a reactor at that time, just trying to keep up with it all and get your sleep. I was so tired for that entire year. Oh my God. But if you watch Foodie enough, you know when she's in an altered state. And she's in one right now in this clip. She can't keep her emotions to herself. We know sober Foodie versus altered Foodie. She's in Thailand. She's happy. She's giggling. She's all over the place. Yeah, she is. And not only that, here's something interesting. So she started out this stream, no filters on, showing more of her natural face, right? And then the moment that Salah came into the stream, she straightened herself up, put her makeup on, like she was trying to hide something, trying to do something. So before Salah got there, she was, letting it all hang out in a sense. But the moment he showed up, she kind of got herself together.
So I have 2 bottles of extra water instead of getting a case because I don't feel like sweating more. I got some cukes. Figure I should have some vegetables. I don't want to get listeria. And I got these noodles are the best. You know why? It's with real chicken. And it has like little pieces of chicken, Korean chicken.
Girl, just say the truth. Say it. You went out, you got some stuff, true, but you smoked a little bit somewhere. You're coming back and you're feeling good.
And spicy Korean chicken. And it's like actual like juicy, tender pieces of like non-crunchy thing, breast meat.
Chantal, why do you do this? Why do you come on live stream and describe junk food to us? Processed food, like none of us have ever had junk food. Like you're the only one who's ever had it.
And they're like 80 baht instead of like 20 for like a pack of crop noodles. Even the crop noodles taste delicious, but Madison, don't make me laugh with that. Because when I'm in this state of mind, I find drama to be just weird and funny.
When I'm in this state of mind, again, keep telling on yourself. When I'm in this state of mind, what state of mind is that? Would you care to elaborate? Would you like to explain? What state of mind are you in, Foodie?
It's weird. What is this? I need to do laundry. So I have a bag with all my laundry in it.
Yeah, about that. About the laundry thing. So there you are going out to the green shop, smoking a little bit, getting your smoke on, going to the 7-Eleven, buying the processed food. No talk about doing laundry. No talk about using the laundry service or getting some laundry soap and hand washing your clothes and hanging up to dry on the balcony. Nope. No talk about that. And what day are we on right now? You've been in Thailand for what, 4 or 5 days? It's really hot. You're sweating every day, but no talk about laundry.
That I need to burn. I don't know if no, housekeeping will pick it up. But I have to go through, I haven't done it yet because I have to go through this little sheet. Okay. Who I'm telling you, you can't totally tell. Totally can't tell. Hey, love. Alexis. I know I look like crap right now. Look, it's pre-shower. It's pre-face wash. Actually, I did wash my face. There was a glass of water on my desk that I wasn't going to drink because the ice, it's a long story. But
wait, what? Hold on. Rewind, please. Did she just say what I think she said? She said, I just washed my face. There was leftover water on my desk. What? Did she just like take the water on her desk and splash it on her? Oh my God. You're kidding me, right?
Whenever ice melts totally into a drink and it's left over and in the morning it's tepid, I will not drink it. So anyway, I said, okay, I'll use that for my hair and my face because like.
Foodie? Ma'am? When you sweat, you need more than water. If you use soap and water, you're getting the dirt, the oils and stuff off your skin. It just ain't, water is not just going to do it.
It was just bugging me and I didn't want to get out of bed yet. So like morning crusties were bugging me and I didn't want to get out of bed yet. So I went like this with the water in the glass beside me.
Oh my God. So she was laying in bed and her idea of washing her face while she's laying in bed, she's rubbing water from that was left over from the night before. Oh my God. This woman has no home training whatsoever. You know, never mind the fact that she's in a room with a bathroom, with a shower, with a sink. She could get up in the morning. She could get into the shower and use the soap and get as many areas on her body as possible. Put on some clean clothes. No, it's too complicated. Okay. So DX says, I love when my wife goes to another country, blows all of our money, and talks about her ex for hours while on rugs. I've got some thoughts on that. Now, this is just my point of view. This is my opinion. I have to wonder why she did that. I'm going back through Fraudy's history of the way that she was with men back in the day. And Fraudy is someone that she does not change. She doesn't change the patterns in which she does things. She doesn't change her way of thinking. She's just a not changing kind of person. So just follow me here for a second. In the past, when it comes to men, Fraudy likes to triangulate men against each other and her in the middle. Let me give you an example. When she was living with Pete's, she would go to Natter's house and talk trash about Pete's to Natter. And then she would go back home to Pete's and talk trash about Natter to Pete's. In essence, making both men hate each other and fight over her. She has said out loud she likes it when men fight over her. It makes her feel wanted, loved, admired. She liked the idea of two men that she was financially supporting fighting over her, wanting her attention, wanting to be the only one. So moving forward to what's going on right now, Salah is essentially a sugar baby. She pays for everything with Salah. Natter is the former, or maybe not former, sugar baby. She paid for everything with Natter, the same way that she does with Salah. She paid Natter's rent. She paid his bills. She paid the phone bill. She bought the groceries. She got an iPad for him, an iPhone. She did everything for Natter. Not because she was generous, but because by doing all that stuff, she could have a semblance of control. She wanted full control. She tried to get full control. It did not work, but she felt like money was the way to control him and seduce him. And neither one of those things worked. So in my opinion, I feel that Chantal, when Salah doesn't pick up the phone, when he does not do what she wants him to do, when she's angry at him, she'll bring up Natter's name just to make him feel unsettled or tick him off, or kind of send out the message of, if you don't do what I want you to do, I can go back to Canada and leave you behind in Kuwait, and you won't get another dime from me. I'll just go back home to Canada to him because he's ringing my bells anyway, and you're not. So what exactly am I here for? Like, she uses the threat of cutting off the money to keep Salah in line. Likewise, what she might also be doing is going back to Natter and crying on his shoulder about all her problems with Salah, and using Salah as a point of control, or trying to, and putting off the vibe of, look, you and I are the past. I'm still talking to you, but there's this other guy. He's younger than you. He's more attractive than you. And if you don't behave, then I'll just roll with him. So play them both men against each other. And it's not that either men love her. It's about both men want her money, because she got both men used to her money and how comfortable life was when she was giving it to him. So she's over there playing games. She might be mad at Salah, or she might not know what he is. So she did the live stream last night as a sort of a silent message of, you're effing up and you better straighten up, or I'm going to start talking. I'll get those loose lips while I'm high, and I'll start talking, and I'll make a whole lot of money doing it. So you better put that leash on and let me hold it. Okay. This is from, okay, Shenanigans. You know you're getting old when you start resenting your own birthday. Happy birthday to me, I guess. Happy birthday, Shan. Hello, YouTubes says she talks about Natter again and how nasty he would get when on rugs. She admitted to paying his rent and said he won $3,500 on a gambling game. He kept playing and would flop things over when he would get mad at her. She added that Salah would never do those things. Again, why would you talk about your distant ex while in Thailand when you don't have to? And the way she was talking about Natter was with almost a sense of fondness, which is why I keep saying they're not done. She's still talking to him. And I feel the reason why Natter got his channel back is because Chantal likes to watch him through his channel. You know, she can kind of do it covertly. Stay in touch with him. She gets to see him. And that's why he got his channel back, was because of her. Why else would YouTube give back his channel? It wasn't like he was making them money. But talking about Natter in Thailand, of all places. Hello, YouTube says, she said Salah asked where all the ice cream bars were and how it takes him forever to eat food. She said she will eat it if he doesn't. Salah magically appears in the chat. She starts putting on makeup and says to sub to the couple's channel. So this is where we started in the beginning of the stream. And then as soon as Salah entered, she's like, oh, I got to put on my makeup. I have to look somewhat presentable. I can't let it all hang out. He's here. You know, Chantal, if you're supposedly married and you can't be yourself with your husband, there's a problem. If you have to pretend to be something you're not or someone you're not to your husband, do you really have a relationship? I don't think so. I really don't think so. All this pretending to be something you're not, for what? You don't even love Salah. He doesn't love you. You know where your heart really is. Salah was the one that you settled for because you couldn't have what you really wanted, which was Natter. Your heart's always been on Natter, because with Natter, you could be yourself. And if it weren't for the fact that Didi is there, if Natter made one phone call, y'all, one, if he called up Chantal or sent her a text message and said, I'm done with Didi, come back to Canada, trust and believe, she would get that plane ticket by hook or by crook. She'd be on her way to Canada right now. All this talk about hating the Western world, that would go right out the window. She'd be back to Canada in a heartbeat if she could be with Natter, because that's her one true love. They were two peas in a pod together. They had a weird sort of interaction. They were obsessed with each other, yet they couldn't stand each other. Okay, this is from Truth Seekers. Pete enters the chat. That's weird. Pete never goes into her chat, but let's watch.
Yeah, sure. Welcome to the jungle.
Oh God, she was singing Guns N' Roses. I'm offended.
Do you like that song?
No. Don't do it. Don't disrespect GNR. Don't do it. No.
We got fighting.
Ma'am, don't disrespect my music.
Games. Pete, do you like original?
So that was weird. Like, why would Pete come into her chat all of a sudden? I guess we'll find out later. This is from Truth Hurts saying, bye, Patong Beach. Kamala Beach, here we come. So Truth Hurts has been really showing us parts of Thailand on Twitter and doing a much better job than Chantal, doing little video clips and pictures. See, this picture right here from Truth Hurts. This is the Thailand that I would like to see more of. You got the beach right there. Thailand is full of beautiful, stunning beaches. Chantal went there for over a month. Did we see a single beach? No, she's never going to show it to us. But isn't that just stunning? Like, I would love to be there right now and go down the stairs and just walk along the sand. Thank you for showing it to us. Truth Hurts. Okay, now this is something heartwarming from the Dalbo dog, saying, this dog's name was Gunner. My uncle brought him back from World War II. He was raised and slept under my uncle's anti-aircraft gun. The gun crew shared their rations to feed him. By the time he was 18 months old, my uncle said he would stand up and look at the sky. If he laid back down, they knew all was okay. If he growled and put his hackles up, they all got at the ready. He knew the sound of the German aircraft, and my uncle said he never got it wrong. He said Gunner was way better than any early warning system. I'm probably the only one left in the family that knows that story now, so I thought I'd tell it before it's lost forever. Like many stories must be from that time. Thanks for reading it. And credit goes to Smoky War Dog, LLC. Wow, that's an amazing story. So Puppers was protecting everybody. What a good dog. All right. DX giving the recaps of the lives. This is part of the recap. DX says, no filter today. So we see that she has a physical textured rash all over her face. Her CPAP mask is clearly marked on her face. She knows that she has a rash. Flips the camera so we don't look at her in her PJs. She is pantless. What? Flips the camera. It's a pigsty. Trash. So for those who are not aware, for those who were not present back in the Crackhead Olympics, yeah, that was a thing too. When Chantal lived with Pete, she would often run around the villa without her pants on, like just bare from the waist down. I don't know why she did that. I don't know if she did that as a form of manipulation or control with Pete, like him seeing her half naked did something. I don't know. But she would often run around without her pants on. And we know that she's not clean, so she was sitting her dirty bottom down on things. But she's in Thailand and she's running around with no pants on. Ew. And her room was a disgusting, dirty mess. Ugh. DX also says she's basically is so high she laughs to tears about the word safari shirt. Says she's still not feeling 100%. Can't even look at the camera. Says she has an irrational fear that she is away from someone for too long. She's going to drift apart. Has fears of loneliness. Oh boy. So that last part, if she's away from someone too long, they're going to drift apart. Fraudy, can I tell you something? It is possible to be with somebody, living with someone, and if they are not emotionally plugged into you, they might as well be 1,000 miles away. Even if you're laying in bed next to them physically, they can be emotionally, mentally distant. They can just be somewhere else. So thinking that being physically near somebody ensures they won't leave doesn't work. Especially if the person in question, they're not plugged into you to begin with. Their heart is not into you. Their soul isn't into you. So the whole fear of drifting apart from somebody kind of sounds like you're worried about the lack of control that you have over Salah. That's what it sounds like to me. That you're a control freak. You don't know what Salah's doing. You don't know who he's talking to. You're afraid of being dumped. The thing is, he was never yours to start with. It was just a business relationship. That's all it ever was. That's all it'll ever be. And you need to acknowledge that. That money cannot make somebody fall in love with you. And that's just how things are. Okay, money cannot buy happiness, and it can't buy love. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you make, it's not going to put you in somebody's heart. Seriously. Okay, something nice from Post of Cats. Unbothered, moisturized, happy, in his lane, focused, flourishing. So, so Kitty's having a spa day. That's adorable. He's like, I'm in a sauna. Don't bother me. That's so cute. Hello YouTube says she tries to say a wise Islam quote, but miserably fails about having money in life. She puts on her sciatica cream. She says she doesn't care if you think she's a sugar mama, said her legs are short, and that's why it's hard for her to get out of the tub. Yeah, about the sciatica cream. So sciatica pain is nerve pain. And if she's putting on like a muscle cream, that's just for pain for strained muscles. I've tried the muscle creams when I had the sciatica pain. It didn't do anything because it's a nerve pain. Do you see where you're messing up, Foodie? Katie is strong says, eat all the ice cream in the world, Foodie. That's why you look like this. Yeah, she's beauty. She is grace. Yeah. Femme fatale right there. All right. Fat Cow says, you are right. He could have talked about it with a friend, though, maybe, or kept it to himself. What he did do was act it out with another person over the phone and blanked while doing it. So let's watch the clip of Foodie doing those mental, emotional gymnastics.
Well, I'm going to say sometimes things can happen. And I'm not going to talk about the situation anymore after this, but the situation with Salah, sometimes communication, like, I've learned that it was like a shameful thing for him to talk to me, his wife, about these things. And because no, I'm not like that. I'm totally vanilla. And sometimes those interests have issues in a marriage, especially if the person, like, do you not find men are just hard at, like, they don't open up?
You know, if you're a husband and you have a wife, or you're a boyfriend and you have a girlfriend, if you have sexual fantasies, wouldn't the person you'd want to talk the most about these things would be your significant other? Especially if you're married? Because the person that you put the ring on their finger, according to you, if you're in a monogamous relationship, that's your one and only. So if you have a one and only, you go to your one and only when it comes to sexual fantasies. If you're in a relationship and your husband is going to somebody else and doing certain things, there's a problem. Because if they love you, they'd want to go to you first. They want to explore their fantasies with you first. They won't go to other people. He stepped outside the marriage, Foodie. Talked to another woman, Foodie. In secret on Instagram. And he didn't want to get caught doing it. And it wasn't just any woman. It was one of your own beezers. That's the second time that a beezer has betrayed you. You look at girl world as being hateful. Girl, look at your own beezers. This is the second time that a beezer has snatched up your man. The first time was Dee Dee. Remember that? You made the mistake of bringing Natter to YouTube. He started talking to Dee Dee. The next thing you know, Natter's living with Dee Dee. So you lost that one to a beezer. And then Salah started talking to another beezer. You seeing a pattern. But as depraved as you are, as kinky as you are, as with your dark fantasies, you putting out the vibe, I'm down for anything. Whatever you want to do, just indulge it with me. As depraved and dark as you are, as disgusting as you are, as willing as you are, Salah didn't go to you when he could have. If he went to you, guaranteed you're not going to talk about it. Or maybe you would, but he could have gone to you You were willing, but he didn't go to you. He went to Kybella. You want to know why? Because he's not into you. You don't appeal to him. You don't turn him on. You don't do it for him. You will never do it for him. I think you know that. That's why he stepped out. He talks to other people. And what about those other offenses, Foodie? You want to talk about those? How about the woman on his phone in the picture that you saw on his phone? What about her? What about the woman in the red room, Foodie? And what about the previous weirdness in Thailand that you explained in a really bad way? What about those people? Huh? Seems like he's got a history of going to other people when he's got urges. He's not going to you. You've been waiting for him to come to you, but it's never going to happen. He wants nothing to do with you like that.
Like they just feel ashamed and embarrassed, you know? So.
I mean, Chantal, I know you don't want to talk about this. I know you don't want to think about this, but there's tweets all over the place. Salah was talking to somebody, and he said that a woman who is 200 pounds is a cow. He does not like big women. And you're way over 200 pounds, girl. You're in the 500 plus range. So if a 200-pound woman is too big for him, what does he think about you? You're not his type. It's just how it is. He's not into you. He's not going to be into you. No matter how much money you make, it's just not going to happen. All right. Truth Seeker says, why is she talking about Nader and comparing him to Salah? No married woman who is a loving relationship would think about doing this on a constant daily basis. She talks about giving Nader her credit card and leaving him at the store with it while driving off with his phone. Smart. So let's watch.
And he'll like touch my body and something on like every little thing. You guys don't see him give me like serious, like not shit, but like he'll give me pep talks on like my health and stuff. Like, you know, like he'll almost every day I tell him like, hey, I know. He'll say like he'll come over to me and like grab my face and like keep this, and he'll like touch my body and stuff like.
Can we talk about that for a minute, Foodie? See, this is where you get it wrong. Let me correct your worldview about Salah. If he does touch your face, if he does give you pep talks, if he's talking to you about your health, is it because he loves you? No. Let me fix your brain for a minute. Do you know what he's doing? You're the cash cow. You provide the milk. And he's watching you gain weight rapidly, watching your health decline rapidly. He hears the labor breathing. He sees that you can't move around very much. And as a sugar baby, he's concerned that the cash flow is going to stop if you get too sick. So to keep the cash flow going, he's trying his best to slow you down at least for gaining more weight, becoming bedbound, because if you become bedbound, you become a burden and a problem. And then the cash is going to stop. So he tries to step in every once in a while and, hey, get healthy. Hey, let's go for a walk. It's not about caring about you. It's caring about the money that you give him. Understand how that works?
You need to reduce, like, you know, like it's your weight a bit. It's not healthy. And it's true because he lives with me. He sees me like gasp for air just walking down to the lobby. Like it hurts him as my husband. If you love somebody, you're going to be hurt by their health, right? If that were Swordfish, he would never give.
So according to you, it hurts Salah when he sees you walking down the stairs and gasping for air. It hurts him so much. But does it hurt you? This is supposed to be your husband, right? Your partner. This is the one you've chosen. So as a wife to a husband, if you are married to somebody and something that you're doing is hurting them, why wouldn't you hurt? Why wouldn't it concern you? Why wouldn't it make you stop and think, you know, I'm really unhealthy. It's so unhealthy that my husband, it's stressing him out. I need to do something. because my husband is stressed out. Like he's worried about me. For both of our sakes, I should get myself together. But it's all about him worrying about you. It's not about you worrying about yourself and worrying about your marriage and wondering about how you're affecting the other person in the marriage. See, this is how I know you're not really married. 1, 2, you don't know what marriage is about. 3, you don't know what love is about. You're always caring about yourself and keeping people pitying you.
Shit, he wants me to die. Like, he doesn't care, you know? So it's like night and day. Like, people don't see or appreciate those things, but I do. I'm in Bangkok alone because I chose to come here alone. I said I was okay.
You know, the only real difference between Nader and Salah is that Nader would not coddle to her crap. He wouldn't coddle her. And she knew that. She knew she couldn't get away with acting like a baby and doing the baby voice and acting innocent and I don't know what I'm doing and getting away with it. Nader would call her out on it. He'd be like, what are you doing? You're acting stupid. Whereas Salah responds to that and she's gotten away with manipulating him that way. But I think 2 years later, even Salah's catching on to it and she knows she can't get away with it. Notice the baby voice is missing in Thailand. Where did it go? Huh. Maybe she's not using it because there's no one to use it on. It only pops out when she wants to manipulate somebody and get out of trouble.
He wanted me to cancel my ticket. He wanted me to cancel my ticket. I had to like almost beg him to come here.
This is a story she's going with. Oh, he wanted me to cancel my ticket. No, he didn't. And there's no way that you could. You're on a visa run. We all know it. You had to get out. You're doing your best to keep from Kuwait catching on to you, essentially trying to live in their country. You're supposed to be there on a visitor visa. You're supposed to visit and then leave, and you refuse to leave. So considering the amount of time that you spent in Kuwait, you're like, I have to stay gone for extended periods of time so that they won't catch on to me and completely kick me out forever. That's why you're doing the whole 2 months in Thailand thing.
But after a while, he was like, okay, yeah, it's all right. Like, at first he was like, cancel, but it was like a pain. I don't know.
So in every story, a narcissist is either the victim or the hero. She's a martyr right now. I made the sacrifice for my marriage. I had to go, and my husband didn't want me to go. It's so heartbreaking. It's a Lifetime movie, y'all. 2 lovers separated by distance. It's a Lifetime movie, is what it is. She's doing the Lifetime movie thing right now. I'm not buying it. He wanted her to go. And honestly, she wanted to go. She's been in Kuwait. She's miserable. She's in Thailand. And yeah, she may feel lonely. I get that. But she wanted to smoke the green and eat the food without Salah telling her, no, you can't spend money on this. No, you can't spend money on that. Are you kidding me? She's going hog wild behind the scenes and loving every single minute of it.
I just really wanted to get away from the heat. And I thought,
you want to get out of the heat. You wanted to not have Salah tell you what to do. He was irritating you. You want to get high, and not have him stop you. This is your vacation, just as him being alone in Kuwait without you is his vacation. It's a vacation for you both.
I'm going to single bees for a while. I'm not single like as in really.
Oh, you want to what? Say it again. I'm single beesing, she says, as a married woman.
Relationship, but solo bees.
That was a slip up. I'm going to single bees. Of course you can, because you're single.
Solo bees.
That was a slip up, though. I'm going to single bees. Why would you say that as a married woman?
I thought it would be fun. And it is. I'm okay. I'm just like, I don't know. At first it was a lot harder.
You know what, Fraudy? Just listen. We all know it's over. We can all feel it. Even everybody can feel it. People that done tarot readings on you. We've all seen it. This is the end. Not in a, you're not going to be on this mortal coil much longer end. But we all feel like the final chapter of this arc is being written as we speak. Maybe you're just trying to figure out a way to wrap it all up. You're still working out the details. You're still working out the framework of how to end things and not look stupid. Maybe you're in Thailand right now, smoking it out, working it out, talking it out with Natter. I don't know. But you got to find a way to end it because you're losing money and people are bored with Salah. They're bored with you being in Kuwait. You're just trying to figure out how to work it all out and go back to Canada and not look dumb.
I had a down moment today and I went to go live and then I was just like, what the heck? I feel okay talking. Like after talking to you guys, I feel okay.
You know, one thing I love about Chantal, when she's high, she talks too much. I live for her talking too much. She tells on herself. DX says Chantal shows the many snacks, pastries, and noodles she bought. She reads out the sodium mg in all her food. What begins as shock at the ridiculous amounts of salt turns into her eating chocolate. She's having a bee moment with chocolate pastries. So what happened to her food budget? Didn't she say she had a budget for food? Well, I guess that's gone. She'll be out of all her food money in less than a week. Promise you that. DX says, reading comment, is Salah coming soon? I don't know, she says shortly. She then continues, having bee moments on snacks, staring directly into the camera. Oh, that's for her feeding people. She's being a biatch. I feel like she just found out Salah is not going to come. This is a major bee moment, no swallowing. Yeah, she's lonely. And she got through smoking something, I'm sure. So she's doing what she wants to do. She's doing what she wants to do. And then I posted this post earlier saying, so Nads is doing streams about her and Foodie Beauty is talking about Nads. Tell me you two are still talking and have been talking without saying you are, Foodie. Victim my butt, STFU. And that's how I feel about it. Miss Anthropope Lulu says, Foodie Beauty, so happily married and on a dream vacay, but telling news stories about Natter, and she's trying to sound like she hates him, but looks more joyful than she has in months. Strange. Ma'am, no one does 4 grams of cola at a time. FOH with your fiction lies. Let's listen.
There was one time he was like super coked out of his mind. We both were, but he got really nasty when he would do more than like 4 grams.
She's telling part of the story here. And Foodie will always do that. She'll always tell half a story, but she won't tell the whole story. Tell the whole story, Chantal. Include yourself. Why don't you tell the Beezers what you were doing during this time? You want to leave that part out? You don't want them to know that when you went to Natter's place, there was a used pipe in his house and you smoked out of a used pipe? We're going to leave that part out? Or how about the part where even someone like Natter that does party favors, and a lot of them, you were doing way too much one night and you nearly had a medical incident because of it. He had to cut you off. You did so much that you scared even him. Why don't you tell your Beezers about that? Or what about the live stream you did where you confessed that you did like $4,000, $5,000 worth of Coca-Cola? Yep. Why don't you tell your Beezers about when you were seeing Natter that you had just random nosebleeds, or you kept Coca-Cola in your drawer? That was your Coca-Cola drawer. When you do the live streams, there was a drawer right beside you where you kept your powder. Or you would think you were being smart and turn the camera to the side and we could hear you sniffing. And then you thought you were being smart when people pointed it out and go into the bathroom and sniffing there. And then when it got pointed out, they could hear you in the bathroom. You decided to mute the stream. Or how about the other times you would come on camera and there'd be powder right underneath your nose? Why don't you tell your Beezers about all of those things? Tell them. Tell them. Because if you don't, I will. Tell them. Tell them, Chantal. But no, you're going to paint the picture like Natter was the only one doing chemicals. You were right all up in it too. You doing the Coca-Cola was how you were making the $20,000, $30,000 a month, because it would give you energy. You'd be up for hours and hours and hours and hours, and we could barely keep up with you. Acting like he was the only one doing party favors. Oh no, girl, you were all up in it as well.
He got like rat face, like snarling at the mouth, foaming at the mouth, nasty.
And another thing, why don't you tell your own beezers, the new ones, about how you would be partying it up with Natter on the powder and whatever else. And then the next day, after the party was over, you would get the Nattertude. See, because all that Coca-Cola that she was shoving up her nose, it would cause a crash like nobody's business. She would be so mean and nasty to her own beezers, cursing them out, humiliating them, yelling at them, putting stuff on her community tab. Yeah, we call it the Nattertude. The after effects of doing all that powder all night and being up was the immediate down of just she would turn into an absolute witch. No, don't mention that to the beezers.
And like, this is an instance like right before the more abusive actions happen, physical abuse.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. For any beezer who wants to know, needs to know, something of interest you might find interesting. When Chantal was seeing Natter in the beginning, she would come home and show off the bruises from their consensual, intimate activities. She was proud of those bruises. She would show them off. Oh, look what we did. Right? It was consensual play. A real person who's been through real DV, they don't show off their bruises. They cover them up. But Chantal would show off her bruises proudly. She would come on camera with them in full view. Talk about, oh, he was so rough with her and it felt so good, blah, blah, blah. But then when she was mad at him, suddenly it became non-consensual hurt. It was all about her mood and how mad she was at him.
Like issues like abuse with him. Like he had a gambling addiction. So, and I don't care. Like he talks about me every night. So fucking. So.
And how would you know that? How would you know that he talks about you every night unless you watch him? So thanks for telling on yourself.
It was called Noble Rats. It was an online game slot machine. He won. This was my money. Like I deposited like I think $100. On that $100, he won $3,500. I couldn't believe it. Like I was all buzzed out and I was like, what? For real? I expected him to stop at this time. I expected him to stop because that would pay, like he had no regard for me because I was paying his rent at that time.
Why is he going to stop, cash out, and pay his rent when you're the big dumb idiot paying his rent? Make that make sense. He had no concern about paying his rent because you were right there. Addicted to him. Your words. I'm addicted to this man. You were paying for everything. So why should he go, hey, you know what? Maybe I should pay the rent with this money. Nope. You were the big dumb idiot paying for everything.
So for me, you know, he knows how put out. Like imagine a man getting a woman to pay his rent. So
you agreed to it. You agreed to it.
Well, I would never, by the way. Winning that money and checking.
I mean, she's doing it now. We're talking 2 years ago. What is she doing? She's paying for Salah. She's paying for the apartment. She's paying the bills. She's paying for the groceries. Different person, same scenario.
Working out would have helped me. You know, I'm dumb.
Oh, he's going to help you out. He should have cashed out and helped me. Why should he help you?
But he, you know, like he could have said, okay, sure. Look, if he really cared, like this was when I reflect back and I thought, if he really cared and really cared, and this is what a narc will do, like they don't care about your feelings.
But you would know, wouldn't you, Foodie? You would know all about that because you're a narc. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, I also put this for Foodie. Foodie Beauty, you are a fake, phony victim. You paint yourself a victim to deflect from being a predator who preys on others. No victim would talk about their blanker while on vacation unless they were a fake victim. It was always about revenge and control, never about justice. True. Perfectly Imperfect says Foodie Beauty cannot stop talking about Natter. She is obviously watching him while in Thailand. Yep. Here's a clip from Truth Hurts. So again, Truth Hurts is showing us the parts of Thailand that Foodie would never. Walking through Bangla Road, couldn't resist. I saw these supremely talented street performers. It's the weekend. Bangla Road is literally vibrating from all the beats from all sides. So a talented person doing some breakdancing. See, there's like you can find all kinds of stuff like this in Thailand. Like I would be watching this for hours. Has Foodie ever showed us anything like this in Thailand? No. Much respect to these people for learning how to breakdance. It's difficult. Shenanigans says Chantal admitting she only went to Thailand because they have legalized green. Let's watch.
Where are you going to travel next? You guys, I don't know, AK baby. I go on the balcony right now and it's like super, like there's a cool breeze. It's like more than 20 degrees cooler than Kuwait, just for a little, I know this place. I like to go where things are familiar. Salam wanted to go to Malaysia. He's like, why Bangkok? And honestly, a little part of it was temptation. Like thinking, okay, to me, like Malaysia and Bangkok are very similar, you know, but like Malaysia is like without legalized cannabis. And
see, she likes to say that girl world, we're all a bunch of liars and we make up stuff. But we've been saying for the longest, she's going to go back to Thailand because it has the green stores there, and she's admitting it. See, do you see why it makes no sense to lie, Foodie? Yeah, kitten asking for more belly rubs. Look at the baby. Play with me, play with me. Looks like, look at the baby. Okay. All right, so we could, where are we as far as, let's see, hold on. So we're at an hour. I love to keep going, y'all, but I want to get into the actual React itself. So I'm going to have to cut off Twitter because we're already at an hour for Twitter. So let's get into Chantal stuff. There she is. Like she's feeling herself. Let's get going.
Wrong chemical compounds. Where's milk tea?
She looks terrible.
Oh no. I'm really mean to these people. You know what? Just do your thing, milk tea. No hard feelings. People, you guys can make fun of me all you want. I don't care. Ted Rose tea. What? Ted Rose tea? What does that mean? Look at this. Do you think it'll... Whoa. Yeah, it's like an ice. It's like a waterfall. Yes. If this isn't bougie way to drink your water, I don't know. Oh, I love it. I like to watch the water pour over the ice and like, you know, it's getting cold waiting for you. What? Hi, Mimi Sherry. Sweet lady. Hi, Sandra. Someone has some...
You know what? It just seems like there's a pattern going on here, y'all. No matter where Foodie goes, even if there's somebody that's assisting her, getting her stuff, do y'all notice a pattern? When she was at the villa, living with Pete. Oh, wait a minute. Before we get started with what I was about to say, look who's in the chat. Desert Prince for you. Hi, Natter. We know it's you. We know you're watching Chantal, and she watches you too. She already outed you, bro. She said hello to you using that handle, Desert Prince for you. So y'all look, it's right there under Golden Girl. There's Natter. Natter's in her chat. They're talking. And she's happy. She likes getting attention from Natter. And he likes getting attention from her because it keeps interest on his channel. Natter's channel is essentially dying. And he knows the only time that people pay attention to him is when he's talking about her. So, you know, he's got to keep the pipeline open with Fraudy, whether he loves her, likes her, or not. But what was I saying? Oh, what I was going to say before I saw Natter in the chat is there's a pattern with her. When she lived at the villa with Pete's, the place was disgusting. It was a mess. She's very slovenly. She's very unclean with her body, with her environment. Just wants to sit around and eat food and throw the garbage on the floor. That happened in Canada. It happened in Kuwait. And here she is in a room in Thailand. And she's not even been there a week. And the place is already messed up. So it was like, no matter where she goes, a mess is sure to follow.
I like when you guys think I'm burnt and you come up with all these euphemisms. It makes me laugh. There's some habits we just have to keep to ourselves if we do have them. I'm not confirming anything, but if I am not at liberty to tell you my business about this, okay? So you can think I'm happy, you can think I'm gleeful, you can think I'm burnt, but it doesn't matter. All right, let's just bees. So I have 2 bottles of extra water instead of getting a case.
I wonder if she's mad at Salah and that's why she's doing this. I'm going to come on camera looking a hot mess. I'm going to come on camera looking basically being baked. And everybody knows I'm baked. And I'm doing it because I'm mad at you. Maybe you're not picking up the phone. Maybe it's her way of flipping the middle finger at Salah. Like, nanny boo-boo. What's she going to do about it?
I feel like sweating more. I got some cukes. I figure I should have some vegetables. I hope I don't get listeria. And I got these noodles are the best. You know why? Hey, living Laura. It's with real chicken. And it has like little pieces of chicken.
Nobody cares about processed food.
Korean chicken, spicy Korean chicken. And it's like actual like juicy, tender pieces of like non-crunchy thing breast meat. And they're like 80 baht instead of like 20 for like a pack of crap noodles. Even the crap noodles taste delicious, but thanks, Pinconi Club. Oh, hey. Cooked. Hey, Brooke, no more noodles. Proud Bees or Jessica.
So people like Susie Homemaker says, girl, you titled your live not okay, and suddenly you're okay. What else could do that but a little Bangkok rain? Well, Chantal likes to make clickbait titles. She'll put not okay in Bangkok just to get her beezers concerned and flooding in to see what's going on, and yet there's nothing wrong. It's just a Chantal tactic to make extra money.
Like, Madison, don't make me laugh with that. Because when I'm in this state of mind, I find drama to be just weird and funny. It's weird. What is this? I need to do laundry.
Ew, is that sweat stains on her scarf?
So I have a bag with all my laundry in it that I need to burn. I don't know if no, housekeeping will pick it up. But I have to go through, you know why I haven't done it yet? Because I have to go through this little sheet. Okay. Hi, everybody I missed, by the way. Hey, Heather. Miss Helith Razor, if I miss you, let me know. I won't tell you. You can't totally tell. Totally can't tell. Hey, hand love. Alexis. I know I look like crap right now. Look, it's pre-shower. It's pre-face wash. Actually, I did wash my face. There was a glass of water on my desk that I wasn't going to drink because the ice, it's a long story, but whenever ice melts totally into a drink and it's left over and in the morning it's tepid, I will not drink it. So anyway, I said, okay, I'll use that for my hair and my face because like it was just bugging me and I didn't want to get.
What? So she had a glass of water on her nightstand and she's going to use that leftover water for her hair, for her face. Where's the soap? Surely there must be some kind of soap in Thailand you could use.
Get out of bed yet. So like morning crusties were bugging me and I didn't want to get out of bed yet. So I went like this with the water in the glass beside my bed table. Hey Tracy. So I'm not okay because I'm still a little sick, but my throat's feeling a bit better. Yeah, so I have to tick off this thing, okay? This little sheet to say what's in the bag of laundry. Handkerchief. What are we in 1935? Stella, will you fetch me my handkerchief? Like, what the hell? Handkerchief? Do people still use handkerchief? I mean, since they've invented Kleenex, a legit question. Anyway. Dress, blouse, skirt, slacks. Same thing with slacks. Who wears slacks? I bet you your grandfathers wear slacks, right? Hold on. I got to finish my whole. Pyjama. Brassiere. We're totally living in the 30s. I love this. Oh my God.
Oh my God. And you know what? I'm looking. Okay, let me just blow this up for a minute. Y'all look at this scarf at the top. It looks stained. It looks totally stained. You know, why do I have this feeling that Fraudy held off on the laundry, not just because she's cheap, but because she wants those clothes to be as disgusting and filthy and stinky and sweaty as possible before she throws down money to have them cleaned. Can you imagine those clothes going to the cleaners and smelling like a hot mess? The things they'll probably say about her clothes. Ugh. You know what, Fraudy? I don't know if you have a clean outfit, but if you're about to send off the laundry, I would be getting into the shower, getting clean, taking those clothes off, adding them to the laundry. That way it all gets done.
Slips, stockings, handkerchief, swimsuit, bed sheet. Wait a minute.
What?
Oh, maybe if you bring your own bed sheets. Pillowcase, blanket, and towel. Okay, well, slacks or trousers. What the hell who even says trousers? What about pants? There's not even a pants. In the gentleman's section, they have shirt, safari shirt. Like they charge extra to clean a shirt that has turtles and pineapples on it. Like, what's the difference? Like Salah has a shirt, or he had. I think he returned.
There we go.
Away from someone for too long, that we're gonna drift apart. Like that's my fear, and just like I just have.
Again, she's not worried about emotional distance. She's just worried about, will he find somebody else? Will he find another cash cow and dump me because I'm too irritating? That's what it's about. I'm sure he's been on the lookout for somebody else. The less money she makes, the more unhealthy she becomes, the more of a burden and a problem she also becomes. If she wants to hang on to Salah and keep this thing going, she's not doing herself any favors. When you become too much of a problem, Fraudy, and there's no compensation to balance it out, those that you deal with, they're going to look at you and go, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. I'm out.
Years of like loneliness, you know? I don't know. Yeah, my skin is so red. I don't know why. I look at it. It's so pink. Complete, like perfect T-zone of red. And then
maybe her CPAP mask is too small or too tight, or it needs to be cleaned.
On the cheeks and the chin, pretty much my entire face. Oh my God, I think I can see a CPAP outline. Get out of here. Look. Hey, bear. I just mean, not just him. I mean my family too. You ever find like the more time you're away from them, like you just like worry that like,
You don't care about your family.
I don't know. Here.
The only time you care about your family is if you need something. Like if you're in Thailand and you run low on money and you can't get it from Peach and you can't get it from the Feedies, that's the next person you're going to call is mom.
It's 9:15 a.m. How's my throat? Actually, a little better. 8,000 milligrams of sodium. Wait, this all has 8,000. Let's count them up. No, it's not in English. Is it? Servings. Hey, Pam's Kitchen.
Oh, she's eating.
Yeah, Mandy.
Up, confirm that she's got Feedies in the chat. Certified window licker says, yum, closer, closer so I can lick my screen. What? What? Ugh.
Mango. Here I am. Love your Thailand beast. Hope you're having fun. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I am. Hey, Master Shredder. I really enjoyed going for Shisha. I want to go right now. Oh, those are good. I want to try vanilla ones and then I'll put them away. Maybe the CPAP. Yeah, like maybe the pressure. I don't know. Cut like bursts all my freaking blood cells overnight. Mochi is really like gummy. What the fuck?
Do you see how this trip to Thailand and her going to the green shops is disastrous for her? Because she's smoking something over there. So high blood sugar will make her hungry. Insulin will make her hungry. Going to the green shops and smoking something will make her hungry. You know, everything is supercharging that B moment Godzilla inside of her head. So she goes out and she smokes the green to relax, but then she gets the munchies. She comes back and she indulges. Like, she's been going crazy with the mochi lately. Didn't she have like the salted egg mochi from the 7-Eleven? Now she's got the white and dark chocolate mochi. Like, you're just going to go mochi crazy, aren't you?
Oh.
Sorry about the watching her eat.
High blood pressure, who knows? Hey, pizza? Yeah, sure. Welcome to the jungle. Do you like that song? Welcome to the jungle.
No.
We got fun and games.
I'm getting past that.
Friends, but Pizza's grandfather did. Kate. No, I wasn't okay. I'm a little not okay. But, like, I feel unaccomplished today. You know?
You know, I just had a thought. May I share my thoughts with y'all? This right here is giving me look what you made me do vibes. Like, we can see Salah is not in the chat. He's not there. And she wants him to be there because that is how she keeps track of him to make sure that he's not talking to other people. So this is giving me look what you made me do vibes. Oh, you're not here. You're not in the chat. Maybe you're not picking up the phone. If you leave me alone, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come on camera looking a mess. I'm going to be high as balls. I'm going to munch out on food. And it's going to be your fault. So look what you made me do. She's using the vibe of I will lose control if you're not here. as a form of control and manipulation.
The tea is very light. Hey, Brad.
And Pete's is in the room right now. Pete's, I don't like you. You suck for the way you treated BBJ. The way you're putting your hands on her and grabbing her face when she had bad teeth. Saying no mercy. Letting the cats go without food for 2 days before you opened your mouth. Don't like you. I don't. But addressing you right now, you got 15K in your pocket, sir. And I know that Chantal's been talking to you because of that. I'm sure she has. Because anybody that's got money, you know, like she smells the money and she's going to come sniffing around your door, having conversations about, can you help me out? I'm so sad. I'm in Thailand. I'm running low on money. I'm pretty sure those conversations have already happened. But if you want to know, need to know that she's changed. Here's your proof right here. She hasn't. That if she came back to Canada, if there's anything in your head revolving around nostalgia and you being in love with this woman and you want her back, you want things back the way they were because she is your favorite person for whatever strange reason, you're getting a glimpse into how things would be. That if you spent your money on getting a place for the two of you, this is what she'd be doing. Sitting in a room, making it a mess, making it a disaster, eating a bunch of food, and having you spend all of your money on everything until you're flat broke. She's got a bigger channel than you, and yet she's always broke. Isn't she? Isn't that wild? All the money that she has made, all the money that she could make, and she's always broke. So if you're entertaining any thought in your mind about putting down money for a house for the two of you, or if she's coming to you with the sad eyes and baby voice and, Pete, can you help me understand the person that you loved, the same one who cheated on you multiple times and left you multiple times, is still the same kind of rotten. She doesn't know how to love. She knows how to use people, but she doesn't know how to love. So just take note of what you see and what you hear. She was bad when she was in Canada. She's worse now.
Pizza Pringles. Rosacea, yeah. Mama's hella flavor. Really, Bear? I don't blame you. Yeah, we're gonna go try every day.
So I guess they don't talk every day because she just said we video chatted the other day. But I thought, Chantal, you said that the two of you are in constant communication. You FaceTime each other. You got a tracking app on his phone. So now you're saying, oh, we video chatted the other day, but that was the other day. That was the other day. So you don't know where he's at.
I also need to see my animals, you know?
They don't need to see you.
I got to see how he uses Pea Corner. What a proud moment. He's so cute.
Emily says, I thought you were keeping up with Salah's location. Can I just say my thoughts, my opinions here? It's creepy to me to be married and you're keeping up with your husband's location like you're for stalking him. If you love somebody and they love you, why do you have to keep up with their location? Why do you have to track them? Faye says, wait, did she just say she doesn't know where Salah is? Yep, she did say that.
Sorry, did I mention this was my lunch? I got from 7-Eleven.
So this is what I love about Chantal. She tells on herself. So she went and she smoked a little bit. She's having a bee moment. The last time she talked to Salah was a few days ago. That's bothering her, obviously. So maybe her doing this stream is kind of a get back at him. Like, you're not talking to me. I'm not able to control you. So I'm going to go out of control with myself in revenge. Like, I'm going to come on camera and act the fool and be high and look a mess and talk about my ex. Like, this is what I'm going to do if you don't come to heal. I'm going to come on camera, potentially open my lips about you.
The mochi is in the freezer. Hi, Lizzie. So much sodium. I won't be buying these anymore. Howie. No trouble in paradise. Why do you guys always think the worst? It's so weird. Like, it would really like burn your ass or something if we did, if it happened, like if we live happily ever after forever.
But you're not happy now. And honestly, it wouldn't burn anybody's butt, Chantal. It wouldn't. Like, what you do in your personal life is for you. Has the most impact on you. You want to be with Salah for the next 10, 15 years? Please go for it. Although every year you spend with him is going to be in misery. It's obvious you're not happy. You're gaining more and more weight. And if you keep it up, you're going to be bedbound. And I seriously doubt that he's going to take care of you. But insist on being in misery for the sake of portraying a lie.
You should really reevaluate why that bothers you, you know?
I'm not bothered. Stay in Kuwait if you want. Destroy your channel. Get by on barely their views. Do what you want.
Hey, plain cheeseburger. It is air conditioned. I wouldn't stay somewhere non-air conditioned. You guys know me. Why do you ask me? Like, I would not stay in a room non-air conditioned, and I would not stay in a marriage without good sex. You should know me by now.
Actually, we do. I wouldn't stay in a marriage without good relations. Oh, yes, you would. Oh, yes, you would. Because you're just that desperate. You are. Look what you put up with Natter. You put up with everything with Natter when you could have walked away. You were desperate for attention. You were desperate for some excitement in your life because you had none. Because your life is boring. You brought some excitement into your life. You love the toxicity. You love the drama. You said so. You like the drama. You did. So you put up with him. It got you high. That was part of how you got high with Nat. It was not just the party favors. It was the fighting back and forth. It was just, you know, the charge of the fighting. That was part of what was so addicting about him to you. For the first time in your life, meeting somebody that told you no. You're like, oh, challenge accepted. He's telling me no. And the two of you went back and forth, playing games with each other. But if you cared about yourself, you would have walked away a long time ago. And you say that you are a victim? Try to compare yourself to other victims? Ma'am, your situation was different than a lot of other people's. A lot of people that are true victims of DV, they live with the person that's hurting them. and they are seriously afraid. They are intimidated. They're terrified of that person even looking at them cross-eyed. And they have no money. They have no means. They have no resources. They have no safe place to go. Or maybe they have children and they can't leave. The person that's hurting them is taking all of their strength away every day. And they just don't have a choice but to stay in the moment. And then there's the fear that if they get away, whatever safe place they find, what's going to happen if that person finds them? Like, how much worse is it going to be? How far is it going to escalate? That's why a lot of people stay in situations like that, because they don't have the means to get away. Your situation with Natter was different, because the entire time you saw Natter, you had your own place to live. You had your own car. You had your own money. You were making money on YouTube. Natter didn't have a car. He didn't have the money unless you gave it to him. So you were safe. At any time, you could have blocked his phone number, blocked him, cut everything off, and that would have been it. Whenever you saw him, you would drive to his house to see him. And then when he moved to Montreal, you would drive 2 or 3 hours each way just to visit him. You couldn't stay away from Natter. And in all the times that I saw you with Natter, never once did I see you afraid of him. Never once. Never saw that fear in your eyes or in your body language. Never got that sense that you were afraid to speak up in front of him. If anything, I saw you taunting him, getting in his face and making him angry, which is something that a true victim would never do. Never. So you're a fake, phony victim, Chantal. You were never afraid of Natter. You were never the victim. You were the predator. You prey upon people to get what you want. And I'm not sticking up for Natter. He's a scumbag too, but right is right and wrong is wrong. He's a jerk and so are you. But you're not a victim.
Yeah, thanks, Golden Girl. Sorry, Faye. You might want to dip out for this one. I'm almost done. Is it bothering you guys that I'm chewing for real?
Yeah, because it's gross. Can you eat off camera?
It's not so much someone to talk to. Because you can find stimulating conversation with people, but
you don't talk to actual physical people. You talk to people online because you don't have to face them.
some relationships you can get things that no one else can give you. And that's usually what a lover's role is.
Jesus, Chantal, slow down with the eating. You guys seeing this? Good God. Oof. Girl, what did you smoke before you came on camera? Like, it has made you hungry. Calm down. You don't even have anybody in the hotel room with you that if you start choking, they can help you out.
I kind of feel lonely that way. It is rude, Brooke. Bye. I mean, of course I'm going to be, if it's my husband. Like, what kind of wife would I be if I just let people talk shit on him on my channel? Like, no.
Yeah, so people aren't allowed to talk crap about Salah on her channel. The only one who's allowed to do that is her. And I'm sure he's aware of that. That for right now, he's kind of sort of halfway in the safe zone. But if he breaks things off with her, if he disappears, she's going to go full throttle on him. Because that's what she did with Natter. So he's trying sort of to stay in the safe zone until he's not.
Thanks, Tia Maria. I'm okay. Bye, Peach. Thanks for coming. People can give their opinion, but when it comes to my husband, no, you can't. On my channel, insulting wise.
Yeah, she's the only one that could go after him, and she does it. She'll do it for the sake of views. Like, nobody else on my channel could go after him for free. But when I want to make money off the drama, I'll make money off the drama, and I'll put my opinions out there, and I'll monetize every single one of them. And that's just the rules she made up.
Hey, average undesirable. People can be concerned, but they don't know the true situation. So how can you come up with a conclusion based with zero proof? Like, you know, actually all the proof so far has been opposite.
Funny that when Girl World has something to say, we always bring the receipts and we can pull them out whenever necessary, but yet she never has any receipts to back up the things she's saying. She just tells a bunch of lies with a bunch of holes and a bunch of stories, and then she gets called out and then she gets mad.
Except for that one incident, and like, you know. Anyway. I'm not going to force anyone to like anyone. You can like whoever you want. My channel. Respect my authority. And his authority. Whimsy! Oh, thank you, Whimsy. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, but people accept theories. Like, they just, yeah, okay. Whenever there's no, like there's no basis. There's no proof of anything. For example, that we're not married. Where's the, like, on what grounds? I've even proven otherwise, that we can't live there without, you know. I did a video on our courthouse wedding.
You know what, Chantal? Okay, let's talk about different things. Let's talk about the marriage certificate. You won't show that off. And I think it's because you are afraid that if you show it off to Girl World, somebody is going to be able to translate it, and it may not say what you think it says. I mean, there are different people in the community that do speak Arabic, like, say, Mo translates, that if you showed off the document, like, she could translate the whole thing, and maybe it's a marriage certificate, maybe it's a contract of some sort, but you're afraid of what the paper might say because you don't speak Arabic. So to keep from that being exposed and maybe you finding out some stuff is going on behind your back that you're not even aware of and maybe feeling embarrassed, you don't show it off. Okay. But as far as you being married, you are seriously sick and you're in Thailand alone. What real husband would let their very sick wife travel alone, knowing that at any moment anything could happen? That you're not going to be there for her, that if she falls in the street, you can't pick her up, you can't call for help. I mean, there's all kinds of arrows that point to the fact that the two of you aren't really married.
I don't know. It's just weird. I don't really care. I have the best beezers. No, I'm not sharing. I'm almost done. Tangy. Oh, Tangy, thank you. Thank you. Why I would buy a present for the person watching my pets? Why not? Is it weird?
I can't imagine being that person if they even get a present. Oh, thanks for watching my pet for 2 months. Here's a cute little keychain. You know, if I had somebody watching a pet for a long time so that the pet could be comfortable in familiar surroundings, that they're not being put, say, at a place where they got boarded. This person came in and fed the cat and changed the litter box and made sure they were comfortable. So the cat was in more familiar, bigger surroundings. I'd be doing something really nice for them, like, say, buying them dinner or giving them a gift certificate to go out to a restaurant with their family. That's what I would do. I wouldn't just buy them a stupid keychain.
I guess I just grew up that way. My mom was always buying presents for like everybody. My gymnastics teacher as a kid.
Because she went to the store and she's like, what is the cheapest, stupidest thing I can buy for somebody? Oh, look, a keychain.
My bus driver. Queen Anne chocolates. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Stop eating, for God's sake. Sorry. Just her crunching.
You have to submit marriage certificate, proof of employment, and income. And like your income has to be a certain amount.
You know, it's already been proved, Chantal, that the place where you live, people can live, like a woman can live there alone. Like he could have his own place, you could have your own place. And it's been rumored that his name is not on the lease. It's somebody else signed on, so you could stay there.
Obviously, to cover the rent. So
I think maybe you pay for the rent, but it's somebody else's name on the lease to keep from the two of you getting caught.
Yeah, if you're a Badoo, you live in the desert in a tent. If you don't have papers, you can't rent shit. You definitely can't buy almost $40,000 car or like $30-something thousand.
That's debatable. I don't know. I've heard that they were making payments, so obviously it's not paid off. Obviously not.
Or SUV with no money. You don't think that the car company, go call Sherry and ask what you need to buy a car there? Like, seriously.
You know, I'm starting to think about the whole car situation. I don't know how it is there, but usually when you buy a car, you know, like if you're not paying for it outright with cash or a check and like it's yours from the moment go. If you've got to finance it or like you're making payments per month, they'll run your credit. Chantal has really bad credit and she's got a bankruptcy. So how are they managing to do payments? Like, did somebody else sign on for the car? I don't know.
Yeah. No, you can't.
Okay, so Strawberries and Cream says Murad is their friend. People keep saying he is renting their apartment for them, which makes 0 sense. Actually, it makes perfect sense. If his name is on the lease, you know, like if he's in good standing, more so than Chantal and Salah, it makes sense that he's basically covering for both of them.
He's not legally allowed to rent the apartment for us because it needs to be a married family.
Not necessarily. If the contract says there's one person living there and one person is living there, I'm sure it's fine.
So, like, you need to, and the Harris lives on site and like they.
No, not saying that the apartment building manager is doing anything shady, but I have heard, and this is true all over the world, that sometimes money talks. So if that's the case here, maybe certain people are looking the other way because of money.
Have to meet with you to rent the apartment for you. So if Murad went there and then the guy was talking to Salah, he would be like, "What's up?" Like, there's no evidence on your side of your accusations. I'm not mad. I'm just showing, I'm proving myself, right?
No, you're not really proving yourself, though.
So, and there's all this evidence on our side.
No, there isn't.
And you know what? Even if he was a Badoon, I wouldn't keep that secret, because whatever, you know?
Now, let's go back in time for just a minute. Before Chantal went to Kuwait, for those who were not around at that time, let me just take you back in time very briefly to the goings on with her. So, yeah, she was with Nader. She could not get control of Nader. He was with Dee Dee. He was not going to leave Dee Dee. And she was on the manhunt again. She was on a quest to be with a man, and she was allegedly physical with a few men before she ran into Nader. I mean, Salah, excuse me. Right? So, there was also, she was all over the place. She came forward and she talked about how her and Pete were going to move into some sort of a mansion with a coffee bar in it, and she had her own room. And even though she wasn't buying the place, she was just renting, that the people that, because of her being a big YouTuber, that they put mirrors in her room just for her, which I find outrageous, because why would a landlord do that? Just renting a property, because that just sounded kind of weird to me, that they were leaving pets behind that she would take care of, and then she would basically just pet sit. I mean, she was saying all kinds of wild stuff. But then when it came to Salah, she was saying that he was very successful. He had his own business. He had lots of money, that if she wanted to, she could quit YouTube and he would support her. This was all this stuff that she told us before going to Kuwait. And then when she got to Kuwait and she turned her camera on and we saw his bachelor pad, we were like, what? Just because of the things she told us. She could have said, hey, this guy, he lives in a much more simple way and it's very humble, and we would have had no problem with it. But it was because of the huge lies that she told that we were like, what are you talking about? Obviously, he's not well off. Obviously, he's just getting by. Obviously. So it was because of her lies that Girl World said what they did. Had she been honest, we wouldn't have had anything to say. But she's lied about Salah the entire time.
Unless he wanted me to, which he probably would. But like, I don't care about your friggin' passport status to love you, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure we're together for love, because at this point, like, I wouldn't.
Really? If you're together for love, then does he have a job? Is he supporting himself? Is he supporting you? I mean, because if it's love, that means if he's a husband, he's going to step all the way up, cover all his expenses, not rely on you for a single thing. And as your husband, maybe be there for you financially. Is that happening? No? But I thought he loved you. So if you're paying for him, then I guess it's just not about love. It's about a paycheck.
I could be with anyone. I could be with someone else if I really didn't love him, you know? Like,
wrong. Chantal, you're so unhealthy and you're so sick. I think you know. I think you know that Salah is the last one. Like, you can't throw game around like you used to. You don't have enough money to do it. Salah is the last one that will put up with your crap. That you cannot finagle somebody to be in a faux relationship with you. You can't seduce a man with money because you don't have enough. You know your health is failing. You know that you're close to being bedbound. You can't throw the game around. And you can't get away with it if you tried. So you're hanging on to Salah for dear life because that's all you got left.
Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't, yeah, like, I don't have to be there when I'm there. I choose it. So, welcome salam, Fidget. So if you're single and not married in Kuwait, you're basically homeless unless you live in your country. So basically, Barbara, the majority of people are expats to work there. So they usually, a lot of them have the employers who bring them on the work visa. And all of this information is available to you at your, if you want to research it. But basically, they have a rental place for them. And a lot of them, the males live with other males. You know, like that fire that was just happened in Kuwait. It was an employment camp, basically. Construction workers, mostly for a big company that brought all these people from India.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about this. Move on.
I still was a little bit, I didn't know for sure if he was really cheating. I ignored all the signs. I was stupid. Yes, okay. But I didn't know. I didn't fully know. It was like in denial or something, or just.
Let me guess who she's talking about without even hearing the person's name. She's talking about Natter, isn't she? Yep.
I really believed his shit. You have to know that when you're in a narcissistic tryst with somebody, whatever it is, they manipulate. There's things offline that they do. They manipulate.
Ma'am, you say all kinds of things about Natter and Dee Dee. You insult her lady parts, but you had occasions with them twice. It was so bad you went back twice. What are you talking about?
Manipulate the fuck out of you, okay? Just believe that. And so I really didn't, like, you know. Then on the way home from Montreal, Sam's Bar Lounge released a video, and I was.
There's a rumor that she was behind Sam's Bar Lounge. I'm just saying.
It's like, what, you know, I don't know. I was listening to it, so. And I found out for sure, and I never drove back there. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? So for anybody who's not aware of the channel Sam's Bar Lounge, Sam's Bar Lounge had a whole series of videos of Natter with Dee Dee and showing things that looked like DV. It's funny how someone who claims to have dealt with DV, that she could watch that stuff and not get triggered. Funny, isn't it? Yeah. Keep talking, Chantal.
This, you know.
And let's also not forget that when she was mad at Dee Dee, she actually showed one of the videos from Sam's Bar Lounge on her channel showing Dee Dee allegedly getting hurt. So a victim of DV showing somebody that is on video looking like they're getting hurt in that similar way. What true victim would do that?
No, it was hard. It was hard at first because getting out of a relationship that intense is really.
Oh, shut up. Getting out of that relationship is so intense. Ma'am, all you had to do was stay home. What are you talking about? You're acting like you live with Natter and you had no money and you had no resources and you had nowhere to go and you were trapped there. Bullshit. You were never trapped with Natter. You kept going back. Even after you tried to use the threat of going to the cops, you kept going back. After you threatened to go to the cops, you went to his house with green products and coffee like a coffee date, expecting that they would let you in. And see, for someone who wanted Natter, this is where you screwed up. You never got it, did you? You never understood that he's a scam artist just like you. He's a liar just like you. He's a manipulator just like you. And just like you, he's self-centered, self-absorbed, and looking out for his best interests. And the one thing that Natter is always concerned with is having a soft place to land. So he looked at you and he looked at Dee Dee. And he weighed the pros and cons of both of you. Door number one, if he picks Dee Dee, he's got a soft place to land. He's got a place to stay. The person that's living there isn't unstable. They're pretty calm. He can deal with that. Door number 2, there's you. You're completely unhinged. You're completely unstable in every area of your life. Anything could happen to you at any moment. You're a troublemaker. You're volatile. You're violent. When you get mad, you'll threaten people. You'll threaten legal action. Too much instability. You're like a pile of dynamite. So he chose the safe option, the sure thing. You were never the sure thing. All those little power plays you did with Natter worked against you in that regard. You didn't even have the smarts to keep that part of yourself under wraps until the two of you did live together. You let him see it early. He was well aware of how unhinged you are. And he stayed away. He stayed away. Your fault.
Really hard. But then, you know, this happened with Salah, and I was like, you know, but you don't know. That's why to say you would do this for certain, you don't know a situation until what you would do until it like happens to you, you know? It's like hard. It's crazy. So, yeah.
Beezers, listen, don't let her lie to you. Natter never cheated on Chantal. You want to know how I know? Because I was there watching the whole doggone thing go down. He never cheated on her because he was never committed to her. Never. He never loved Chantal. He never said, I am your boyfriend. You're my girlfriend. I'm in love with you. I'm deeply in love with you. That never happened. It was just a business transaction. That was the agreement. That was what was going on. It was her that wanted to add more to the contract after the signature was put on. You feel me? It was her that wanted to take something that involved business and turn it much more personal. And then she got mad and salty when she didn't get her way. And because she didn't get her way, she became vengeful, wrathful, mean, nasty, evil, despicable, conniving, manipulating, because she wasn't getting what she wanted. There was an agreement. The person said, I'll give you this and only this. And she said, okay, just to get the door open. But then once the door was open and she walked in, she's like, oh, by the way, I want this too. But they didn't sign on for it. They didn't say they will give that to you. But you want to snatch it off the shelf like it belongs to you. It don't work like that. But she thought, oh, I could just muscle my way into this person's heart. No, that's not how love works. So all the fireworks that happened because she got all twisted up. She got all effed up. She thought, if I spend money on somebody, they owe me love. They owe me a relationship. No, they do not. No. You get what you pay for always. She paid for companionship. She got companionship. She paid for party favors. She got party favors. She wanted to use Natter for content. She used him for content. She got what she paid for. She just wanted more. And she didn't get more. And that's why she got mad.
Of course, after I like dropped the loser off, there were obviously still times like that I still was attached. So I was like really like, it was so hard for me and I had weak moments, but it was the beginning of the end for real, you know, like that was the breaking moment for me, that like you see everything, like the lies, the disgusting lies that are just so like, anyway, the lies.
I don't think he ever lied to her. I think he told her what she wanted to hear, true. I think what burns her butt the most is that the player got played. I think the hilarious part about the two of them is I think they both saw each other coming and they underestimated each other. He looked at her and thought, oh, she's just some fat, stupid broad. I can get all the money off of her, no problem. And she looked at him and thought, oh, he's just some stupid, skinny crackhead. I can wrap him around my finger. And then they met up and they started talking and playing games with each other. And then they found out they underestimated each other. But I think Nader was much more authentic about who he was and what he wanted than Chantal was. I think just like with Salah, she put on a false face with Nader, like, I'm going to help you, and I'm so helpful. And then over time, when she felt like she had more control over him, she started to show her true self to him. Thinking that, oh, he's comfortable now. He's not going to go anywhere. And she started pulling all the nonsense. But he was more of his authentic self. But he never came on camera and acted like he loved Chantal. And she tried everything in the world to trick him into a relationship or say that he was engaged to her. She bought her own ring. It was nuts. It was a crazy time.
Everything, and you're just like, wow. And like being abused is not okay. You know, that kind of stuff.
You were never abused, at least by him. You weren't. You weren't. Want to know how I know that, Chantal? Because I watched you. I never saw you look afraid when he would come into the room. Your body language never suggested to me that you were afraid or intimidated. Never. And I saw many times over, you would get in his face and you would scream in his face, which somebody who's being abused would never do. When you're around somebody who intimidates you, you don't even want to breathe wrong around them. You don't want to look them in the eye. You keep your eyes to the floor. You try to make yourself invisible. That was not you with him. You wanted his attention. You wanted to fight with him. You would provoke him. So you're a liar.
Would sink in, and that was it. Strawberries and cream. Do you think that was an edited video? Or what? I haven't seen it, Olivia. Is this a new one? Snack time. Thanks for reminding me, Alexis. No. Hey, Chantal, my heart jumper. It's actually my pajamas from Temu. I can't wait to get home and open my Temu. You know? I can't wait.
I hope that Salah sends your Temu package to Canada to your family and says you can pick it up there because the apartment is gone. I hope that you never return to Kuwait and that he pulls the biggest screw job in the world on you. I really do.
Yeah. So yeah, so Salah is all that to say, like, it's hard for it's hard for me. Like, he's so sweet in so many ways that people don't see. And a lot of you,
this things you're saying about Salah, you also said about Nader. I mean, anybody could put the videos you did about Nader side by side to what you say about Salah. It's the exact same thing. You guys don't know everything. You're not around. He's so sweet to me. We have long conversations. You just don't know him like I do.
you do see. Like, I find he's like so sweet on camera. He's gonna bring the Temu, yeah. Sorry, Sophie, what's your question?
Why would he bring her Temu to Thailand? I mean, just let's think about this for a minute, y'all. Why would extra money be spent to bring her items? I mean, if you're somebody traveling somewhere for, say, a month to 2 months, you're already going to pack for that amount of time. So you're considering what you're putting in your suitcase. So why pay the extra freight to bring extra items? You don't have to.
This is sweaty and gross. Ew, it feels like mochi. Ew. Yeah, but like, English is not his first language, and he's, you know, I hate that he says it wasn't a relationship. Okay, from Queen of Relationships Online. You're gonna say my relationship's not a relationship?
Situationship. It's a business agreement.
All right. There's not even worth replying to that. Like, dude, you were just sending sexy pictures in your daughter's room to a man who left you unread when you sent the nudes. I wouldn't be talking about others' relationships with peace and love. Like, what? Exactly, ECP. Yeah, Bananarama. Shani tried to steal swordfish. Thanks, Teardrop. Mimos.
Let's move ahead a little bit. This is a 3-hour live.
And you know what? Yeah, I know, right, Teardrop? Whoa. I want to see the Conjuring Museum.
It's being boring. Moving ahead.
It comes and goes. It really, truly is, you know? It really does. I mean, it's just, you know. I think having enough money to fund maybe a life that you want ideally for yourself, but yeah, like money, it really isn't happiness. It's not. It's true.
How long has Chantal been in Thailand? What, 4 or 5 days? So if Salah hasn't packed up that apartment and gotten gone, he's an idiot. Like, the window of time was large. If he wants to get away from Chantal, he could.
Probably Kuala Lumpur, Liz. I travel through Chantal. Yeah, you guys can just travel through me. Yeah, true, Barbara. Nowadays, like they say, like they raise the minimum what people need to be making to be comfortable.
She's talking about minimum wage as if she knows anything about that.
Exactly, but like they wouldn't, like I just said, like people don't even listen. Like they check his bank account and like his employment, like income, like per year. Like when you think that you can get an expensive car, like I wouldn't even be able to get an expensive car like that in Canada. Like my credit would never, you know.
So if there could be somebody else's name and you're just making the payments. I mean, that could happen. Like if you go somewhere, the person selling the car could check somebody else's credit, don't see your credit, and you're the one giving up the money.
Like, so like you guys really, it's okay to, you know what, theorize all you want. I don't blame people. You're right. Somebody commented that if you don't give information, people are going to theorize. So go for it. But some of them I'm debunking because it's so obvious. So it's laughable to me that people actually believe these as truths just because they're lacking information. To me, if you lack information.
You know what, Foodie? Then here's the solution. Here you go. You don't like the theories about you, that you say that we lie about you, which we don't. But if you don't like the theories, here's how you solve that problem. Stop lying. Tell the doggone truth. Just tell the truth. Say the truth, Chantal. Say the truth. If you told us the truth, there would be no need for theories. Ta-da! Why are there theories? When there are theories, it's because you are not honest and you say things that are lies and don't make any sense. And all we're trying to do is make sense of all the craziness that goes with you. If you tell the truth, though, then the truth is all you need, and the truth is all we need. We're just commenting on what we see and what we hear. But if what we hear makes no sense, then we naturally try to make sense of it. So stop lying. You're not a very good liar. You get caught all the time. Tell the truth. You don't have to put all your business out there. Feel free to be private with some of it, But doggone it, if you're going to make something into content, if you choose to put something on the table, make sure it's cooked right. Okay? Don't come to the table with it half cooked or raw, because we're going to bite into it and say it's raw and say it ain't right and send it right back to the kitchen. Tell us the truth. The truth will set you free from all the theories.
You know, like, I don't know. Sam strumming on the counter. King Beezer was making money before you. Yeah.
Not that much money. And I'm not shaming him for not making that much, but I think we can all agree. We saw his apartment. He was living in a very simple way. And he went from that to living in a nicer place by the ocean. His physical quality of life, as far as where he lived, went up a bit when he met Chantal, when she started paying for things. Before her, he was living in a very simple way.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of things you don't know about him that you would be really surprised about. So he's done a lot of things in his life.
So Strawberries and Cream says, people say Chantal only dates deadbeats and she gets a man with a job. Oh, it's not real. She does only date deadbeats. Or if they don't start out that way, she wants to make them that way. She wants men to be codependent on her. She doesn't like the idea of a man having a job, making his own money, having his own independence. Because if a man is independent, can stand on his own 2 feet, has a job, is making his own money, he's not dependent on her money, he has his own personal power. He has his own strength. That if she causes any nonsense, that man can look at her and say, I'm okay. I'm supporting myself. I've got a job. I've got money. I don't need your money. And because I don't need you or your money, you can go. I don't have to put up with you. You can go right now. That's what happened with BB. BB was independent, had his own job, had his own money, paying for the house. He kicked Chantal out. But he was a hardworking man, very hardworking. And I noticed that after BB, the men in Chantal's life, she made sure that they were dependent on her and her money, just so they can't escape her. She wants to put them in a position where they cannot escape her. They can't walk away. They can't run away. They're essentially trapped with her. She knows how to spin her web very well around those men. She is the proverbial gluttonous black widow. She spins her web with the golden threads, which attract the greedy flies looking for the good life. They fly into her web. She comes off as being non-toxic. I won't hurt you. I'm here for you. Let me do things for you. I'll take care of everything. And so they get lured in by the money and her generosity. They think she's non-toxic, that she won't bite. They fly into the web. They get stuck in it. And she starts wrapping her silk around them, seducing them with the money, giving them gifts, paying for things, paying the bills, paying the rent. And she gets them used to a life of free and easy living. But nothing in life is free, is it? Nope. Nope. There's always a price to pay. And the price that anybody pays with someone like Chantal is that if she does something for you, whatever she does, whatever gesture of kindness, it becomes a weapon. It becomes leverage for power that she holds over your head. So she gets a man used to the free and easy life, and she's tallying up all the things that she does for that man. And if they get into a fight, if he bucks up against her because of her insecurity and her jealousy, controlling, possessiveness, if he says, I've had enough, then she'll use all those weapons, all those things that she did for him against him to try to guilt him to stay. I did this for you, and I paid for that, and you were nothing without me. See how that works? So she seduced Salah with the money the same way that she seduced Nader with the money. She wrapped that golden thread around him. Now he's used to not working, not having to work to make it, and he's comfortable. He likes being comfortable. He likes being able to do what he wants, and he doesn't want to give it up. That golden thread seduction worked really well, didn't it, Chantal? But at the same time, there's a price to pay for you because you're not happy with Salah. You'll never admit it, but you're not happy with him.
Life, like good things. Yeah, Sophie, I know. Sam is yeah, he's Prince Beezer. He's too young of a boy to be a king. It's none of your beeswax, Faye. No offense, but.
So Faye was just asking a simple question. She says, what did Salah do for work before he started his business? It's a fair question. That's not mean. And she's being snotty with her answer. None of your business.
You know, like knowing what someone's job, like it's so not wise to like voluntarily divulge any information about yourself on the internet these days. It's just not. Howie.
And this is the part where Chantal's not a good liar. Because if she were a good liar, what she could do is just make up something and throw everybody off the track. But she gets defensive immediately. None of your business.
I don't know, West Coast. I see your comment. So I don't think so. Hello, Shishi.
Moving on.
About him, it's yeah, on my channel. Like, go elsewhere. I don't care if you want to be a piece of crap elsewhere. They are married. Yeah, kids. Especially, you know. So yeah. Brooke, I'm trying to think of what to do. The world is my oyster. What shall I do? But yeah, I'm just saying.
If the world is your oyster, stop eating it. You're eating it too much. Maybe put the oyster down and go take a walk.
Saying these things just to say, you know, we're entitled to our privacy. It's my right to, you know, stay and work on my marriage. It's my right to like how I want to live my life, you know? So, and that's what I mean. Like, I don't owe people information is basically what I mean. Hey, about friends and family. No, I don't want a cheese toasty. I'm a nosy biatch. You guys can be nosy. Just don't be mad if I don't give you everything, like all the information, you know?
You know what, Chantal? If you don't like people asking questions, don't go live. Just do videos instead.
That's all. But there's a lot.
I mean, I actually prefer the videos over her lives anyway, just because her lives go for so long anymore. It's a lot. And most of the live is her just talking garbage anyhow. So just do videos from here on out. Thanks.
Like 95 to 99% of our relationship nobody sees, you know? So. But yeah.
That's because about 90 to 95% of the relationship is in your head. That's why nobody sees it.
Hi, Leah.
It's all in her imagination. It's in Delulu land.
Joanna, actually, Amber, what advice would I give to a friend going through what I did? If I knew, it depends what I knew of the relationship. Otherwise, I couldn't really give a good analysis what that person should do. Actually, what I would say is, it's up to you, you know?
her live streams and her videos in front of the public. This is not a private forum where you have to pay membership. So she comes on a public forum looking for people to watch her videos so that she gets Google AdSense money from the ads, which requires the public to watch her videos to make that happen. So you're going to put things out in the open for the purpose of making money with the public that you are making money off of. They're not allowed to speak on what they see and what they hear. No, then go to a private forum then.
As my friend, I would trust their judgment and I would say it's up to you and leave them to make their decision. You know, like, especially if if he's never, you know, physically harmed her, he's never been nothing but loving otherwise. Like, why would I interfere in that? You know, that's what I would say. Go watch a movie if you want characters. Right, Carolina. Sugar mama or not, she's happy, so let it be. No, after what I went through with Swordfish, like all the money I lost, no. Like,
she didn't learn her lesson, first of all. All the money she lost on Natter. Did she change her stupid ways? No. I'll tell you what she did. She refined her game. That's all she did. She just took a different route to get what she wanted. So with Natter, she thought, all I have to do is seduce him with my money, and then I can get him under my full control. 1 year later, she finds out, oh, I just gave him way too much wiggle room. And because I did, he wiggled away. So all that money spent on him, and I did not get him with me. So with Salah, she refined her tactics. How did she do that? She found somebody overseas that was a romance scammer. And she knows how they work. She did a video on it a while back, or a live stream, talking about romance scammers. She was aware that romance scammers target women like herself. Women who are older, lonely, overweight. She was well aware of that. So what she did was she turned the tables on the romance scammer and made sure to put him in a position where he could not escape. They would talk on the phone, and she lied about herself, and she lied about what she could do with him and for him, and she used the filters on her phone with the videos and the pictures so he didn't see what she really looked like. And she configured things to where the first time that he would essentially see her was when she moved over there. Like, she kept it under her cap for as long as she could before he finally saw her. And I feel like that first trip to Kuwait, it was supposed to be just like a fantasy thing, if you will. That after the time that she spent in Kuwait, it was supposed to be over. But I guess that she renegotiated the agreement. And that's happened several times. Like, each time she's got to offer up more and more and more to keep it going. But she's at the point where she can't offer any longer. And maybe that's why it's ending. Like, I mean, you buy somebody a car, where do you go from there? She doesn't have the money to buy him a house or take him on multiple vacations. So she's done all she can do to keep it going, to extend everything. But she made sure to lock down Salah so that he could not get away. She kind of learned her lesson with Natter. She did not learn her lesson to stay away from men like Natter and Salah, but she learned how to make sure they couldn't escape her once she spent money on them.
Natalie, I told you guys about the... Thank you, Natalie. Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. There was one time he was like super coked out of his mind. We both were, but he got really nasty when he would do...
Chantal, there were many times that you would be under the influence and you would come on camera and we could tell just by looking at your eyes. So tell the whole, listen, you did this. You came on camera telling these stories. Tell the whole story. Include yourself because you were included.
More than like 4 grams. He got like rat face, like snarling at the mouth, foaming at the mouth, nasty. And like, this is an instance like right before the more abusive actions happen.
Again, the whole picture, Chantal. Let's talk about the whole picture. Beezers, lean in for a minute. Something you should know. Chantal has come on camera confessing multiple times that she was verbally abusive. And verbal abuse, it's abusive, okay? It's abuse. Somebody can abuse you with words the way they can with physical violence. Words hurt. They can reach deep inside your soul and cause bruises and damage that sometimes take years to heal. So she confessed to being verbally abusive, always has been. She was even abusive to her beezers. But I feel Chantal is also physically abusive as well. She'll never talk about it. She'll never confess to it. But I did hear stories that Pete's once said that Grace Kelly was pretty and then she threw a chair because of it. So if someone like Chantal will throw things just from somebody saying something like that, can you imagine her under the influence? That there might be a propensity to physical violence. So she speaks backwards. Sometimes the things that she says about other people might be pertaining to what she's done or what she is doing. Just consider that. That the things she says about what other people do or have done, she might be guilty of as well.
Physical abuse. This happened. He was like, just an example of financial like issues, like abuse with him. Like he had a gambling addiction. So, and I don't care.
Okay, we've already heard this story. Next.
He'll say like, he'll start swearing in Arabic, like like a fucking demon. Like, get a life, buddy.
Do you notice something? Take a look at her face. She's relating all this stuff and she's smiling. So he was an abusive person and she's talking about this. And if the pain has really happened to you, you're reliving it in your mind. And you are reflecting that physically. If you're remembering something that is upsetting, then it's going to trigger you to be upset physically. She's not upset. She's smiling. It's cute to her.
Trapped. Yep.
How can you be talking about him and what happened to you and be smiling at the same time, you big fake?
That's why I didn't let him come to my house. I was smart that way. Like, no way, man. You threatened my family? You're gone.
Ma'am, you had him over at the villa more than once. And that was completely messed up because Pete was there. You wouldn't allow Pete to have a woman at the villa, even though his name was on the lease. You forbid him from having any female friends over at the villa, but yet you brought Natter there to spend time. And Natter hurt BBJ. And even though you found out that he hurt BBJ, you knew that he hurt BBJ, you didn't stop seeing him. But you were so afraid of Natter that you paid for an Uber to bring him to the villa more than once, spend time with him at the villa more than once, and your ridiculous self coming on camera and acting like you are afraid of him. Guys, I need a safe word. Paper clips, telling your safe word on a platform where he is and he could hear it. By the way, you stupid bitch, safe word is a BDSM term. Okay? It's a BDSM term. So you're taking an abusive situation and you're using safe word. Stop. Just stop.
Yeah, he would be in Messenger. He hid it really well. Except that one tree lady, but I was like, he wouldn't. Oh, yeah, he would. Oh, yeah, he would. If it has a hole, no matter male, female, whatever. He was all over that. It didn't matter. Nope.
And do you know how stupid this makes you look? So you're saying if he had a hole, he would do it. And you paid for that. You financed this man's life. You put up with all the nonsense. This is what you wanted to be with. This is the person that you wanted to marry, and you wanted to marry you and claim you. And you went out of your way to try to trick him into a relationship. You bought your own ring and tried to trick him into saying that you guys were engaged. You took engagement photos in a park when you weren't engaged. This was the one you were desperate to be with and to nail down and say, this one's mine. This man right here that you're talking about.
Nothing. What does my husband think? We've seen them fight.
And here you are 2 years later. According to you, you're with a much better man. According to you, you're with a man that treats you better, is nicer to you on camera, blah, 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 blah. But yet you're still talking about this toxic person. What does that tell me, Chantal? It tells me that you're not with the person you really want to be with. The person you want to be with is back in Canada. That Salah has always been a rebound relationship. You settled for Salah because you couldn't have Nader. You settle for him. And whenever you settle for something, you're never going to be happy with it, ever. Your heart, your soul is always going to be longing for what you really, really want, and you'll never stop wanting it. Never. And yet, you won't be smart and admit that to yourself and go home. Nope, you're going to hang on to Salah just because now you feel like he's a piece of property that you have to own and you can't let go of. Like you're looking at Salah like, I invested a lot of money into this dude. I bought him a lot of things. Therefore, he owes me a relationship and I'm not going to let him go. You don't let go of men, do you? At the same time, they want nothing to do with you.
He wants to use his face for a toilet also.
What? Ew.
Go for it. Makes good toilet paper. I know I'm talking gross, but if you went through what...
You didn't go through anything. Shut your mouth.
He put every person in his life through, especially women. Like, you would know. I'm very thankful I got it. The card tricks. Remember, he got so mad at me for showing his teeth that day. Why did you do it? It was like...
Yeah, so like, they were talking. Chantal was desperate to bring him on camera. Desperate. Because she wanted everybody to know that she had a man. And she kept dropping hints and drawing pictures of him. And then she got on the phone with him and she showed his name to the screen on his phone, on her phone to YouTube. Within a matter of like, I think an hour, the Kiwi Farms already knew who he was based on all the clues that she dropped. Everybody knew his full name, but she was so desperate to show off Nader that she went to his house and he was doing card tricks and she panned the camera up at his face. She did that on purpose to lay claim to him.
It's like a huge narc rant. The narc rants are the worst. The ones that last hours and hours. Like, and then he has the nerve to cry and still talk about me on his fucking channel of 8 people watching.
Now, how do you get that channel back, Chantal? Did you make some phone calls? Did you complain to YouTube and say, put him back on because I said so? Is that what happened? Why did they give his channel back? He's not even making money for YouTube anymore.
He has the nerve to say that I ruined his reputation. Dude, you gave me an STD. I think I have the fucking right to talk shit about you. Like, what?
Well, you're the big stupid idiot that you're a grown woman and you didn't wrap it up before you got started. So how stupid do you look? That you're with a guy who's a run around, play around. You know he is. And you're not playing safe. You're over there raw dogging people you shouldn't be raw dogging. Well, you know what happens, right? When you lay down with a dirty dog, you get fleas. You get STD fleas. And you got some cooties. You got the green stuff coming out of your vajayjay and your mouth, girl, because you got it in your throat. Because you're dirty. And he was dirty. And you knew he was dirty. And even after finding out he was dirty, you continue to see him. So you're both gross.
Like, oh my God. Yeah. He's so manipulative. He used to call me high as a kite, I could tell. Like, I don't even know on what. He did everything. GBH. I don't know. He would call me and go, yeah, I'm at a department store, warehouse store right now. And
you know, this is just my opinion. I think Natter did a variety of different party favors just to get physical with Chantal. That was the only way he could make it happen. But whatever the case may be, he rang her bells, and that's why she got so addicted.
My boss needs to loan some money from you for some tools. I'm like, all right, sure. I'm sure. The construction company you're working for in Gatineau needs Foodie Beauties $150 at Home Depot so you can go do some fucking granite tooling or whatever you need to do. Yeah. And I didn't believe him, and he got super mad, hung up on me, withheld affection because I didn't give him what he wanted. Like, just learning about like this relation shit was very, very.
So basically, he treated her the way she treated other people. He used the same tactics on her that she did on others. You know, I'll always say that I think Natter wasn't just a person in Chantal's life. He was a life lesson. Like, he was someone that was brought into her world to basically be the male reflection of her. Like, her talking to him, her relating to him, for her, it's like looking in the mirror. He was a man, true. She's a woman, true. But it's like this everything that she did not like about him existed within her as well. So if you don't like Natter, Chantal, if there were things about him that made you angry, understand that those are the same qualities that you possessed and that you've used on others to hurt others.
Very eye-opening for me. So, yeah, I don't think I would put myself through that again.
So Eldritch Moon says the lies addicts come up with are wild. Yeah, you think? And what is she? She's a food addict. So what do you think about that? She's got many addictions going on. She's got an addiction to food. She's got an addiction to attention. She's got an addiction to lying. So think about what you just said, Moon. Think about what you just said.
GHB is the date. Oh, yeah. Is it?
Addicts lie not because they're bad people necessarily. It's because they have the addictions and they're protecting the addictions. They're not ready to let them go. So Chantal is hiding and protecting many different kinds of addictions. And she will do and say whatever it is she needs to do and say to keep them all going.
Yeah. I remember taking one sip once and I threw up almost instantly. Like 2 minutes later, it was really bad. It's like, what, made of kitchen supply? Like, disgusting. And then when I found those poppers in his drawer, and he's like, I found them on the street. I'm like, no, you didn't, you effing liar. I found them on the street. Because I'm like... I don't know, Barbara. I don't know, Barbara. You couldn't get me his food. Yeah, I totally gassed him up. The barbecue at Night's Inn with the meat was so hard, tough and chewy, no seasoning. Like, what, you're going to grill something with no seasoning?
Oh, yeah. When he went to the little motel and they had a barbecue grill there and she was trying to act like she wasn't there, but then Girl World caught her in the reflection of the barbecue grill and she was busted. Like, look at her talking about all this stuff fondly. She's not crying. She's not upset. She's not shaking. She's not saying, guys, I can't say anything else. I'm just getting too triggered. Nope. Nope. Just talking about her ex. This is because she's thinking about Natter and she's getting back at Salah.
That was a friggin' ghetto ass holiday.
Okay, let's move on.
Some of the things.
Shut up.
Natter's I most days to speak right no matter what language. Yeah, I never watch him. The last time I checked, he was still obsessed with Salah and I talking about us with like one.
You watch him, Chantal. You do watch Natter. And even if you don't, you're supposed to be a DV victim. Why would you want to watch him? Why? There's no reason to watch him. You're both weirdly, sickly obsessed with each other. I don't know why, but you are.
Literally one person and Desperate Dee in his chat. That was it. One fucking person. Like, nobody cares. Like, nobody wants to hear what you have to say, obviously. You know? But whatever.
I'm tired of talking about Natter. Let's move on.
My chin hairs. I like to pluck his. I get a few reoccurring ones, but they've been gone.
Who cares about your chin hair? I don't care about your chin hair. So I believe this is when Salah entered the chat, 2 hours later. Where were you for 2 hours, Salah? Where were you for 2 hours, bro? I bet I know. Were you painting the couch again? Were you making some art on the couch?
All right, guys.
So she was happy and comfortable for 2 freaking hours. And then Salah enters. She's like, oh, I guess I got to put my makeup on and look presentable.
Hey, Zia. No, you can't show your ears.
Moving on.
I wasn't okay because feeling just like, I don't know, a little down. But you guys cheered me up. So, yeah. Oh no. There's foundation. This is why I don't like doing my makeup with my hijab on. I'm gonna have to get. Green Rain gifted? Thank you, Green Rain.
And there's your mama in the chat again. Always trying to gas Foodie up. And honestly, I don't see anything wrong with somebody going to Victoria's Secret to shop for somebody else. I don't care if it is their mom. What's wrong with somebody buying stuff at Victoria's Secret for anybody? Like, why do you get a problem with it? Why does it matter so much to you, sir? You know what, Foodie? I have to wonder if your mama is a secret hater because he likes to gas you up. And sometimes that gets you in trouble. It does, he just inserting himself into the conversation. It's really weird.
Thank you. I didn't see you there. Sorry. Melly. Thank you, Melly. Shukran, Melly.
So I'm kind of confused about why Foodie's putting on her makeup. It's not like she's going anywhere. So why put on the makeup? Is there maybe some plans to go and smoke some more green? I don't know.
You guys are the best. You're simply the best. Better than all. Melly again.
Like sometimes she'll put on makeup because she's bored and she doesn't know what else to do with herself. But the last time I saw Chantal do a get ready with me was back in Canada when she was seeing Natter. Like she would do the get ready with me and putting on her makeup right before they saw each other. And I'm not saying Natter is there, but like usually that's when she cared about her appearance somewhat.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. Awesome indeed. Thank you.
So are they going to like maybe video chat or something? And so she's trying to primp herself up for Natter?
So much. Wow. Thank you for the gifted, guys. Hey, Pishi.
You know, can I say something about the Victoria's Secret? A lot of people may get weirded out with the idea of somebody buying somebody something in Victoria's Secret because Victoria's Secret is known for, you know, intimate things, lingerie, bras, underwear. There's all kinds of clothes at Victoria's Secret. Like, you know, tops and pants and coats and things of that nature. They have ordinary clothes there as well as more nighttime bedroom stuff. So do I think it's weird that Garlic Bread buys his mom something at Victoria's Secret? No, because it could be just ordinary, you know, like lounging about stuff. You know, a simple top and a simple pair of pants. So what's wrong with that?
This makeup is not, I'm not feeling it. Makeup time. What's... Oh.
Moving on.
More Beezers? Thank you, thank you. Okay, I gotta give a huge bees dance for all of the new members and the people who gifted. Ready? Set.
And by the way, how long has she been wearing that nighty thing over her abaya? Is this like day 2? I could have sworn I've seen that like yesterday.
Bees!
Yeah, girl, you took something. You're way too energetic.
Ready, set, bees.
This is like old school Chantal right here. This is what we're used to in the reactor side. This is how she was back in Canada.
Is he? Oh my gosh. No way. We have the hugest Beezer army. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I owe you guys an adventure for this. I owe you guys an adventure.
And you're not going to give it to him.
This trip for sure. A nice adventure. It's never me, Nemos. Dang algorithm. It's a gifting war. Oh, thank you. It's a war I can support.
Is she ready? Is she done? I'm getting hungry.
Do what you want me to do.
What is she singing? No, she's not singing Tina Turner. She is not singing that song, is she? Please tell me she's not. No, leave Miss Turner's song alone. She was an icon. You're not. Don't disrespect Miss Turner. She was a badass. You're not.
You like it, Thank you, guys. Okay, what about lashes? Yes or no? These are going to hurt my eyes, but and they're gonna sweat off if I go anywhere. Like lashes or no lashes? Oh my gosh, that too dramatic?
You look awful, Chantal. Like, what is all the heavy makeup for? Where are you going? What are you doing?
Yeah, no lashes, huh?
And she put her makeup on a dirty face too. Ew.
Green, Rainwood. Thank you, Green. Thank you so much. I just went there yesterday, Terminal 21. That's my video.
Like, where are you charmooting off to?
You like the lashes? But they're too much. You think I should put them on? Why did I bother asking you guys if I know I'm not going to put them on? Okay, I can put them on, I guess. Yeah, that's true. They always make my eyes water, and I'm going to sweat them off, the glue. Thank you, Sandra. I can take them off. Come on, come off, yeah. I don't have cat eye ones. I wish I did. Or like just the corner.
Okay, you know what? She's getting boring, guys. I'm sorry. I can't go any further. She's boring me to death, and I'm hungry. My stomach is growling. So I'm just going to cut it off here so I can go get some food and upload this. I hope you guys have enjoyed this react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other.